Hello everyone. In this brief tutorial, I'm going to be showing you the other element with which our organization will be using FMX, or Facilities Management Express, and that's to submit setup requests. The nature of these requests is such that if you're having a particular event take place throughout the organization and you need a room set up a certain way in order to make that event run successfully, you would submit a setup request. In the past, our organization has used submitting a Google form as the method with which we collect these, but now, with our new facilities management system, sending those types of setup requests is going to be all the easier. In order to send a setup request, if you go to New Request on FMX's main page and click Schedule Request, this particular form will pop up. It begins with an event name. I'm going to name my event, for the sake of this example, a really important meeting. I would, of course, list the building with which that event's going to take place. For the sake of the example, I'll pick 1991. And then where it says Resources, I would pick the room with which that meeting is going to take place. If the event is going to take place in more than one place, for instance, it's going to be in the gym and the cafeteria, I have the ability to choose both. For the sake of this event, I will choose the community room. I then, of course, pick the start day as well as the start times for the event. I can choose whether or not that event repeats, and I can choose to put time on the front and back end for how long it's going to take to set up. For the case of this one, I'll put a half hour before and a half hour for teardown time. Then the next question is see room setup options and select a setup. If you click on the drop down for this, you'll see a list of options, the word empty and the word none of the above. If you look to the left of the screen, you'll see an option on the left called Room Setup Options. If I click on that screen, what will come up is this website. It is a Google site that our team has built that is a list of pre-populated types of setups that people frequently choose to set those rooms up as. So if I go to Buildings and then go to 1991, in this case, and look at the community room, which is the room I'm using, I will be able to see listed here a bevy of different types of frequently used options which I can set the community room up with. If I look here, I see option 3 is the standard U. After I've looked through these, if I go back to my form and I see that's the one I'd like to use, I can simply choose option 3, as that's what it was listed on the site. If none of the pre-populated listed ones there would suffice, none of them would work for my event, I can simply choose none of the above. Then I can type a description of the type of need I would need. Let's say, for example, I would need 30 chairs set up facing the projector, and that's all. I can then put if I have any technological needs, for example, I need to be given an extra computer, or I need to use the projector, or anything to that effect. I can list that here, and then I can put in an attachment. In that attachment, I could maybe put a diagram of the way I would need it set up. If typing out the verbal description, it wouldn't suffice. I can attach a diagram here as well. I can then also communicate out any types of needs I would have in terms of entrances. If my plan is to have people enter through a certain way, I can denote that here as well. Afterwards, I click Submit. And after I submit, an email is sent to the facilities and operations teams letting them know that there's a new event that they're going to need to support the setup for. Please keep in mind that currently this setup, or this portal, is only used to communicate the way in which you'd like a room to look for your particular event or meeting. When you submit this, you are not booking the room itself. We're still operating on a system where we book the room through our Google calendars and then communicating the setup through this portal. But we are working in the coming weeks as an organization to transition some of that work and transition some of that scheduling so you only have to submit to FMX once. This is going to take us a little bit of time. So right now we're only using FMX to submit those facilities setup needs. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, and thank you so much.